welcome to a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Hope you're all having a pleasant time. In this part, we are currently in the Dreamweaver's world, and we've done Icy Flight and Lofty Castle. Now let's see if we can continue our adventure and perhaps even get a little bit closer to finishing the game. Now, I do seem to recall that we haven't done the skill point here yet. Apparently there's a secret room. Let's go and try and find it, shall we? So far my thoughts on the Dreamweaver's world are absolutely well and truly positive. Wonderful world. The devs really have outdone themselves with this. I did say before it wasn't quite as wonky, it wasn't quite as crazy, but honestly, it's not like a major concern. It's not like it's stopping me from playing the game or anything like that. It's any nitpicks that I would have. Just see if it's a wall that needs to be broken. This secret room. But no, it's wonderfully crafted though. I really have, like, any complaints I have would be so minor and petty. It is this, just confirm it is here, isn't it? There is a secret room, apparently. Now, as ever with these skill points, they are quite new, so I'm going to have to try and look around a little bit. I've trying to look for some more gaming news to cover while the previous video was rendering, but unfortunately I can't seem to find anything just yet. Nothing particularly interesting. No, not really much has been going on at the moment. I mean, I wish I could get these videos out a lot faster than I do, but because then that means I can be a bit more up to date. I mean, like, a lot of this stuff that I talk about is going to be old news, isn't it? Bloody hell, where is this secret room? I don't suppose it's where the perhaps the those lady fools were. Open up. Or maybe we unlock it by destroying the wall or something. The cannon. I'm not sure. Well, let's continue on our merry way. Try and find it another way. But I do think it would be up here. Where else would you hide? Just room. Aha! No, I don't know what that is. That's very strange indeed, but I like the symmetry. My god. Now, I don't know what it was about it that made me think it was secret. I also felt weird to just pass through it normally. It's got a ripple effect to it, so it's a bit of a giveaway now, but it wasn't there before. Very clever indeed. Very clever. I like that. That was smashing fun. Alright, let's carry on. Let's go to Dark Passage. One of the more fearsome levels in the game, I fear. Restart the timer again. I had it all set up ready and still I fucked it up. I've got a bit of tea left. Oh yes, for those who watched the Vampire the Masquerade a bit of, I'd bought some books. I got a Toreador book as well. My Nosferatu and other sections arrived. The Toreador one was another one I ordered. Not as good as the Nosferatu and Brewheart ones, unfortunately. Oh well. Yes, this zone looks quite good. Another example of Toys for Bob attempting to improve it, but perhaps to a fault, it doesn't really look that much like the original. Again, it was supposed to be dark. This is just blue. But still, I am impressed by the lighting. I do enjoy it.
The enemies here can be quite frightening, but you should watch the fools.
I'd rather flame the fools.
Now you're thinking.
The music as well is beautiful. Absolutely smashing stuff. I don't know why I have to keep stating. This is going to be a long fucking show, isn't it? We've got another 2 games yet, and I'm going to be saying if the music is just a little something, especially for Spyro 2. That will be amazing to hear. So, if you haven't quite caught onto the mechanics here, the idea is that while the light is on, the creatures are a lot less, not aggressive as such, but they're a lot less large. They can be charged with flame. Except the turtles, they can only be charged. Now, turtles in the darkness grow to a ginormous height.
Thank you for releasing me.
That's quite alright, Roy Orbison. And they can't be flamed. They have to be charged. They can't be charged either because they're too large. So you flame those guys and they turn to a lamp, if only temporarily. Need a firework for that. Yeah, so this is what I mean about like, the buildings being droopy in the previous parts. Like they're a lot more mental here than like there than other zones. So they got it right here, but not in others, I fear. My golly gosh, how do I rhyme? It is my favourite way to pass the time.
You know, I think you just might be the dragon to defeat Nasty Nook. That's me, all right.
Seems like a bit of a short level, but there is a lot more to do. And we've got a lot of places to go to. So, in typical loopy level design, we have to go all over the fucking place. I think when this was in development, the devs seemed to have quite a good time with it. Now we couldn't get. Yeah, I don't really want to go down that way again. So we'll go down this way. Oh, shit. Now those guys are a lot more dangerous than the original. Sorry, remind me again. What was the... there wasn't one. Looking for the skill point here, but there doesn't appear to be one. Well... we can't fly over there just yet, but I do believe we'll get there soon. In fact, that might be the way out.
Thanks, Spyro. I'd love to help you catch Nasty, but I'd really hate to be trapped in Crystal again.
Don't worry. The only one that's gonna be trapped is him.
Yeah, Spyro had some very awkward lines when the game was first released. And dare I say, wasn't particularly helped by the fact that he sounded like a chain of smoke. I'm nothing against the voice actor. I think he's fantastic. I would love for him to have returned to do the voice of Spyro. I can't pronounce the name, so I'm going to try and attempt to butcher it. But he was good.
Thank you for releasing me.
That's easily one of my favourite dragon models in the Reignited Trilogy. I'm very happy with that. It's unfortunate how hard it is to appreciate the level design here. I mean, it was just as hard in the original, but I have to say the devs have tried to give it more character, and yeah, I think they've succeeded quite well. I realise I must charge more. I used to charge all the time in the originals. I always used to miss gems. Dad would constantly tell me off for it. Well, not tell me off as such, but like, he said, "John, you're gonna miss the gems." I'm like, F you, Dad. I'm doing my own thing. I know best. And that's the reason why it took me about 10 years to complete Spyro 2. 100% completed. I was dead chuffed when I did. Once again, I have to check the TV. Monitor. Yeah, that's recording just fine. Right. I've probably just messed up the audio sync as well. Because Elgato is a... Once again, I have to complain. That could be our drinking game. For every time we complain about Elgato, we have to think swig. Or finish your drink, as some people may prefer instead. But you can fuck off. I don't like beer, so I'm doing that. Where to now? Oh, can't go back that way. Shit, it goes all the way around. I've just forgot what was I talking about before? I don't know. But yes, it took me a fucking age to complete Spyro 2. When I did, I was the king of the world that day. Oh yes, Elgato. I was complaining about Elgato. Sorry, I think I just pulled the headphones out. No, it's alright, right. Yes. The camera and my voice sometimes don't match in these videos, so if that does happen, I apologise. Not that you really need to see my reaction and whatnot, I just like to do funny faces. Because I've got such a goggly face. Or googly face. A goggly face. Now, of course, I've got to hear the music here. Right, when's to get into the good part? Oh. It has. I'm not going to listen to that any further, I don't think. No. Not a fan of music here, to be honest. No. Sorry, it's, that's not my cup of tea. Oh, I wish it were. And this was one of my top 10 levels in the Spyro the Dragon video. I praised it because the music matched the pacing so well. It's like I mean, maybe it's because I sort of know the, I knew the most effective routes and how to navigate them. Shit, and such, and that's why it seemed to sort of move along as I played the level. I mean, that's sort of how Stuart Copeland designed the music originally. But it's just so light. I mean, yes, it's hitting all the right notes, but the choice of instruments is so poor, in my opinion. I mean, this is why I love that Steve Copeland was a percussionist, because he understood how the beats worked. So you can really hear his influence as the drumming influence in his music. Yeah, it's so. I think it was so important to the.
Hey, Spyro. All dragons know there's magic in a fairy's kiss. See what it can do to your power of flame.
Is it because my earphones aren't plugged in properly? Because now, I mean, the dragon's voice wasn't playing then. 1 second. Everything else seems to be playing fine, so... I mean, I'll tell you what. I think I did break my headphones 5 minutes ago, so... maybe I could say... okay, that's my fault. Be more careful. I love the skeletons laugh there. Skeletons. I don't know. Sorry, ghosts. The ghosts' shining armor. Shining it is. Shinning. Anyway. So we need the super flame to destroy these suits of armor, these doors, and it can also destroy some chests as well. But actually, I think we've really just seen the use of all the super flame for this bit. So, Christ, we've got another supercharge coming up, which I'm not overly looking forward to. I mean, I have enough trouble with it in the original game, but it's got to do this. Oh shit! Yeah, the turn controls are different, so I mean, I will admit that they're a lot more slippery, so that's good. It's like this is a lot easier to control, but oh Jesus! But because it's more precise, you have to be more precise. Let's free this dragon.
Hold your horns. Here comes Spyro.
Patience, little one. You'll soon have the opportunity to battle the one who matters most. Nasty Nork.
1 second. That's better. Right, sorry, my headphones were only plugged in slightly. That's why the voices weren't playing properly. But the music is still not there. And it's deafeningly loud. So we shall be more on the way. I mean, no, I'm just not a fan of the music in this one, to be honest. More's the pity, because that's what made the original Lofty Cat. Sorry, where are I? Haunted Towers. I keep forgetting the fucking name. What made the original Haunted Towers so good to me? Right, we're going to deal with some mobs up here. shit. I just ran straight into that, I know. I'm just trying to get to the end of the level and we'll do the secret stuff. I call it secret stuff. I mean, in this case, it is secret. It's like you're not really meant to figure this one out. There as well. Need a distraction. Day, love. Oh, fuck you then. Thank you. Right. It's better than do my job. So, Super Breath, Super Flame also allows you to burn through certain obstacles, really through any material. I'm going to use the Supercharge there. Because we do need it now to get to the secret path. So that was the end of the level there. Just bear with me. Right. Okay. Let's get there. Just do a little warm up first. Oh, shit! We'll use the Super Flame instead. I'm just trying to figure out the route, because I need to know the way to get to the secret stuff. Oh, fuck's sake, all the enemies have spawned. Oh, piss off! All the enemies have spawned, it seems. I really should save after slaying them. Physical save fairy. Okay, right, I remember now. Should be a lot easier to do this. Jewels in the wall, very good. One's clipping halfway through the floor. I'll accept it. It's a jewel in the wall. This looks a lot easier than when it was when I first did originally. And here we are. A totally otherwise inaccessible area.
You've become a master of the supercharge. Great work!
I hardly consider myself a master after doing that. Now, if you're to tell me that after Tree Tops, then maybe. And that takes us back down to where we were before. I've got to get my arse in gear for this part. Because these things come to life and don't take much time to either. The Necromancer isn't work. And if you're not too fast, this guy spawns and you can't get past. So, we'll slay him, get through here. And see this fairy here. Who grants us the semi-permanent super breath. Super flame. Super breath. Whichever you prefer. So long as we remain in the level, we get to have this ability which destroys these things instantly. Burns away the Necromancer's magics. I find it quite strange. We will be charging bombs later, in a later game. but doing so here would probably result in me being killed. It's awful strange. You'll see when we get to Metropolis in Spyro 2. And still we're missing gems. Quite a lot too. Alright, let's go back. I'm not sure where they would be though. They'd have to be in some kind of chest, I'm guessing, because there's no amount of enemies that could have that many gems on them that I've missed. It's not him. Let's save. Thank you. Make sure the enemies don't respawn that way. Or at least that's the theory. I'm not sure if that works after Spyro 2. I don't know if it even works for this game. Might have changed the Reignited Trilogy, might not have done. It would have to be a chest. I don't want to dwell too much in this area. Was it back at the sort of secret supercharging area? Alright, I'm going to go back to the beginning, just to double check. Because I fear I may have missed a room. Okay, there's 10 there. Scrap metal destroyed all the knights, very good. But then that still only 10. Am I really missing? Well, I can't be missing any more knights because I've destroyed them all. There's definitely nothing in here. Liking that a lot, devs. Keep up the good work. Where else could these gems be? Super secret area? I think. Oh shit, I think I just did a chest up there that I didn't get. Probably talked about it earlier as well. Let's go back to the super secret supercharging area. Super secret supercharging area. There in the end, alright. Go. And here's me thinking that they didn't spawn. I apologise for any prejudgments that I may have had. Just that when you're aware of something like that, it's very quickly to put the blame on the devs or the game. Missing 9 gems from around 10,000. Mind you, we haven't done that bad. As I say, I've only missed 9 treasure in a game that I've lost a lot of familiarity with. Still missing 3 gems though. Now they're not in the area that I would suspect them to be. Which is back here, and around this corner here. They're not in the secret room, we've already established that. We've killed every enemy here that I know of. So it has to be 2 gems minimum. As I say though, if we don't want to do that though, we can leave it till later. There's not far to go now. But I don't just want to leave it and be complacent, you know? So if I can try and get that treasure before we finish, I would prefer to do that. been up there. It might be up there. Ah, I think I know where it might be. No, it can't be there because I think we've already... Ah, now what is... No, I thought I might have charged too quickly past them. In front of here, maybe? Let's continue on to Jack's, and then we will be done with this area, and we can move on to the final lobby, and we'll probably have time to do maybe all of it, but we shall see. I'd rather not face Nasty Nork until I've got everything, though. Because I want to know that, because I want to, you know, pass seamlessly into there. Now, that creature, I must admit, has wonderful design, but it's not quite as horrifying as the original. I don't know if I said before, but Jax was another one that made it into my top 10. It was Spyro the Dragon, and I still remember what I said about it. Some very unpleasant details. But it is a very unpleasant level. It is chaotic. This is madness. Like, the Shivering Isles cannot prepare you for this. Nothing. No, there is no fictional universe that is as insane as this place. I'm going to listen to the music very quickly. It's good. Sounds very good. Yeah, I'm very happy with how Jake's music's turned out. Yeah, these creatures are a lot more adorable than their original counterparts. But then again, so is a prolapsed anus.
Any advice before this battle?
Advice? A wise dragon once told me aim high in life, but watch out for flying boxes.
Huh?
Uh-huh. So Jack doesn't really look like some kind of just horrible child. He just looks like a winged devil. Yeah, I mean, I think he's lost a lot of his sort of somewhat innocent appearance before. Because I think where perhaps Jax here is just flat out evil, he was really just sort of crazy and misunderstood in the original. Like a lot of the fools and whatnot. I couldn't tell you anything about the fucking creatures though, they're terrifying. That jump is so scary. Excuse me. Especially with controls like these I'm not quite used to. Shit. So yeah, you gotta hit. shit! Ah, there we are. Yep, so wait for that to go up again. That's on a timer. So it remains up until you hit the Fool, and it comes down, and then when the Fool resets, the platform raises.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Take care.
Thank you, I will. You too. Nice voice. Just get me out of this fucking place. I think this is actually one of the fastest levels we'll have done. Assuming nothing fucks up. God, I can see it now. Something's going to go wrong with the Elgato. Or we're going to be missing a gem or something. And we'll be spending all of our time trying to find it. 2 gems! Fuck you! I have an idea as to where they might be, though. I will be fair and say that much. I just want to double check down here, make sure everything's okie dory. Doesn't appear to be any gems around here. Let's move on then. Just want to be sure. I don't like revisiting places more often than necessary. Now, to be fair, we didn't really spend that much time around here. We did kind of just skip past it. So maybe the stray gem is here. There we go. Another level done. And that is it for Jax. Oh, nice. Oh, so close. And now we will be making our way to North Cove. So close to 12,000 treasure. And there's more yet. So much. Okay. I'm going to spend just one last bit of time looking around for these bastard gems. 3 gems I'm looking for. Where could they be? I'm seriously, where the fuck are they? I've been puzzled by this before. I know that I've lost 3 gems somewhere else. You son of a bitch. You son of an arse. Right there. Hidden by the foliage. That, I mean, okay, I will admit, the graphical fidelity looks nice. It does help make the levels look cooler. I'll give you that much. But when it gets in the way of the gameplay, I have just a little bit, I'm not trying to be elitist, like turning down all the particle settings, all the foliage, so that I can increase my, you know, my reaction times to kill someone in CSGO by a marginal amount.
Are you ready to go?
But I do like to be able to see treasure, you know? And I suppose, you know, in a collectathon it's like a sort of hidden object game, I could give you that. But, like, this wasn't a big problem in the originals. Now, I know because of technical limitations, but gems were hidden, not really hidden in plain sight. They were just very well placed. Like, they encourage you to explore, they encourage you to look at every part of the game rather than every, you know, like just touch every blade of grass and leaf through it. And I do believe there's only 100 gems here. And these 3 dragons are levels that we will go to. We won't be going to this one until much, much later. I remember in the original game you could look just under the top lip and you could see a little bit of the level, but you couldn't quite make out what it said. There's a Nork Cove here. The portal's similar. Not by a lot though.
Need a lift?
And this is our balloonist here. I don't know the name.
Need a lift?
But we are in the final lobby now, and yeah, it's very different. I wanted to have this in my top 10 levels of Spyro the Dragon because it does look amazing, but didn't really have much to say about it. And as a lobby, it doesn't really work. Music's good though.
Hey, didn't I already free you?
You're in Nasty's world now, Spyro. And you are the dragon that must defeat him.
Bring him on. I'm ready.
Reach the exit in each of Nasty's lands. Then you can challenge the Nork himself.
Okay. So before I do face Nasty Nork, I would like to get everything in the game. So if it's hidden gems, I might leave that. You know, I might leave that to be unrecorded. I'll have to see. But if I could do that while the next part's rendering, because I'm not sure if that's going to be interesting, just watching me fly around aimlessly and miss all these things. But then again, you know, it's something. It could have a nice filler episode. Unfortunately, I don't know what to fill it with. But yeah, as I said earlier, it's like, you know, in a collectathon, it's not that I have a problem with things hiding in plain sight as such. It's just that I do think that the environmental detail has got in the way of. It's like the game is like the dev's design is incompatible with the original placement of the gems. So here we have Nork Cove, one of my favourite levels in the entire game. Again, as I said with Wizard Peak, I couldn't get enough footage of this because the capture device fucked out. So I couldn't really get much footage. It's also one of the like pretty much one of the most linear, if not the most linear level in the game. It's here where I think the devs really wanted to make it less about collecting and more like a difficult adventure. The music is almost exactly the same as it was, like very little difference. I'm very pleased with that. Although it is more, dare I say, linear, it is definitely fantastic. It's a brilliantly put together level. I think even as just as a bog standard 3D platform level, it's really good, especially for the time as well. There's two kinds of barrels. There's the wooden ones that can be charged and explode, obviously, with TNT. It's dynamite, and it will win that fight. It's a power load, and you better watch it explode. And then you got the steel ones that can be charged, and they blow up on contact.
Keep up the good work, Spyro. I expect Nasty's really starting to worry about you.
I'd be shaking in my Nork boots if I were him.
So that's a reused model. In fact, I think we've actually... That's the second Nork we've rescued twice. I'm not saying if that's a Toys for Bob thing or not, but I can't remember. But still. And even though I forget, I am still objectively, scientifically, measurably, the greatest fan of Spyro the Dragon ever. So yeah, just keep... Yeah, this is honestly, like, one of the best levels in the game, though. It's like, it really is one of my favourites. I could not get enough of this when I was a kid. It's like, I would repeatedly come back here. Even if I didn't need any gems, I would just do it because it was so goddamn fun. Not overly challenging, but still a good level nonetheless. I think it's because of all the different ways the environment's synergized. Like you have these, you knock steel barrels into the wooden ones. You deflate the wooden ones to, have some kind of chain reaction. I tried to, get all these clever different ways of getting them to explode. Like you can see over there, it's like just disaster waiting to happen, and that's part of the fun, really. Watching the Norks sort of fall off the barrels as they went into the water. Just even knocking the barrels into the water had a nice animation to it. Yes, I could run into it. I can knock that barrel there. Oh. No, it doesn't really work. Oh well. What? What? How did you manage to fuck that up? Toys for Bob. This is like the best part of the level. No! No, this is not good. If ever I had to do a list for the top 10 levels in the Reignited Trilogy, this isn't going to be on it, I'm afraid. No, not after that mess.
I never thought I'd be rescued, especially by such a little dragon. What I mean is, I always believed in you, Spyro.
You gotta
I'm
believe.
just going after the first ones again. I'm pretty sure this guy was in front of the town square. Whirligig and Cooperative. The explosion effects are very nice. I think all of it's really nice. I quite like this bit. I think they're doing good here. That's good. That's good. Splash effects I'm not impressed by, but I can live with it. Key for that chest, alright. This is a lot more precise, which isn't a problem. I think it's good. I like that design. Now there is a key for that chest, but of course, if a different way of problem solving is more your thing, then well, you can use it. Oh, I think the key was actually down there as well. But it disappears if you destroy the chest that way. Now, oh shit, I forgot. I don't know why they would destroy the key, but there you have it. Oh yes, and that was also pink, and it was like really vibrant because it would like light the place up. So like, you saw danger and you knew that you could not fuck up that jump. It doesn't really look that deep. But still, Spyro can't swim, so we have to pay an exorbitant fee to learn how. So that's this level completed. I'm not sure if there was a challenge here. Well. So, this door opens up now for Twilight Harbor. Oh yeah, there's also there's a single chest, a wooden chest that sits at the tongue, I guess. Very quickly. That's why we haven't got all the loot. Okay, skill points. Interesting there. So there wasn't... there wasn't any skill points for Knot Cove or Twilight Harbour. Right, I think we've got enough time to do this level. Let's see how it sounds. It's slower. Interesting that they throw barrels of explosive barrels rather than grenades. Like, that's the thing I'm thinking about, not the paint guns as such. I mean, the paint guns, of course, they're not going to have those. Sorry, they're not going to have realistic guns. The game is rated 7. I remember that, just walk up, see how close I could get before I got hit. I am willing to risk a death. Okay, so for some reason it differed on the way back. Okay. Hitboxes have changed, it appears, and yeah. The music, I'm not a big fan of it, and they've got it right. I think they just think the tempo really is a bit off. That guy's just as dangerous as he was before. And I will be fair as well, like with the paint guns, the projectiles are a lot easier to see. So it's like you can actually say, okay, fine, you know, it was in my hitbox, or you can react to it better. But yeah, there's quite a few things that I won't say they've been censored, but I think they have been. Actually, then again, if this, God Almighty, Peggy and the ESRB have stupid reasons for their age rating sometimes. Like World of Warcraft, it's like the reason why World of Warcraft is a 12 is because it has like a goblin, like one of the goblin flirts is like, you can ride my rocket any day, and it's like,
thank you for rescuing
what,
me.
really? And things like that. It's like, in fact, it wasn't even that. I don't think it was even that unsubtle. I think it was way more subtle. It's like you've got to find the flirtation in it. It's like without any context, it doesn't sound dirty at all. But of course, it's a flirt. It's a flirtation, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's like speaking of flirting, like Moneybags when he's outside of Icy Speedway in Spyro 2, he says like you're always like a big spender. Rather than saying, I bet you spent all your money on those flirtatious fawns, like in the original. Another thing as well, like in the original Spyro 2, in the text it might say you have to kill something. Oh, no, it would say, yeah, it would say you would have to, you would have to slay an enemy or defeat an enemy. But actually, the NPC would tell you, like the voice actor would tell you to kill it. Because the text could be easier changed than the voice. Oh shit, I've got to raise the bridge. So I've got to raise the bridge to get up there. So yeah, there's a couple of things they've changed as well. Honestly, I'm not going to get up in arms over the censorship. Like, you know, times have changed. You know, the organisations for these ratings, you know, their ideas have changed. You know, it's like it's no longer the ELSPA who's rating the games. the ELSPI, I should say, yeah. You know, they're no longer rating the games as such, so of course things are going to be different. And if the ratings boards are that aren't, then the Times will be. So honestly, it's like, I'm not bothered. I mean, when you change this much about the game, it's like, I don't really care, you know? Yeah, I'd like it to be exactly like the originals, but that's not realistic. I mean, yeah, sure, I'm sure you can go to Photoshop and do that again, as I was saying in part 1. You know, it's easy enough to do that in Photoshop, but like trying to apply that to real programming and real, you know, 3D modeling and animations, it's like, not so much. And even then, is that going to sell more copies, or is this, you know, or at least be more recognizable? I don't know. I mean, I sort of began this point in part 1 about the subtitles, but I never really finished it. It's like, you can't tell me that you didn't have subtitles because they weren't in the original game when you changed this much. I mean, again, I understand it's not realistic to keep the game exactly as it was, but you can't use the excuse that it wasn't in the original games, therefore it can't be here. No, no, no. You know, at least the option, you know, and that's what I always hope for. That if you can't give me the exact thing that it once was, warts and all, then give me a good video. If you can't give me a good Spyro, give me a good video game, or give me a good product. And that's what this game does, but I'm just saying in terms of the subtitles, you know. If you're not going to be the exact original, be, you know, a good video game. Be something that would be good today. So we've done that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there will be another dragon to rescue when we get back, or that will be after the Nasty Nork fight. However, I'm going to spend... Or... Alright. You know what? Damn the consequences. I'm going to defeat Nasty Nork, but I will not free the dragon afterwards, because he's going to say something very upsetting. I'm not going to like it. Well, I'm alright with it, but it means that we will... The next episode will be a filler one, basically, because we're going to try and find the next couple of gems. And hopefully we'll have time to do that today. No, I think I'll be cutting a bit short. No, I tell you what, I think this will be the last part of the day, which is regrettable. But it means that I can focus on uploading and rendering the other parts, and then putting those up online. So then when I next record, we should be mostly caught up, I would hope. Yeah, actually, yeah, maybe we should be. I hope so. If I can get up about 1-2 parts a day, then... okay, so this is Nasty Nork. No arsing about. He's right there. He's launching green magic at us. Sounds very angry. And we've basically got to try and reach him. Unfortunately, we can't reach him because he's too high to reach, and also as well as that keyhole there, which we need a key for. And who has the key? Of course, a thief has the key. Which wasn't too bad. I must admit I was expecting to be led on a merry chase. However, I'm pleased to say that we weren't. But if we want to 100% complete the game, we are going to need to collect all the treasure. Which is very, very distracting. So, the key doesn't just go in there, unless the game is bugged. No, no, unfortunately no, we can't skip all the shite. We're going to give the thief a head start as well. Or so I thought. Oh shit. Shit! This guy leads us on a merrier chase. Now, sometimes I found that some chases are easier than others. Like, I felt like this one was one of the easiest at times, and then at others it's like, oh no, it's the first one that's the easiest. Even then, the chase is not over. Just very quickly going to put my headphones on. Ah, shit, he's on the run. Now, unfortunately, the treasure is a distraction, because we do only have so much time to reach it. And the music has been lovely created. Just wait for that sting of the guitar. And now I've got to start again. But if you ask about, he will give you a smack. And if you don't know about it, there it is. I like the sort of bubbling sounds in the background as well of all the goop. See, that's what the water should look like. So even though there's a large enemy in armour, apparently brass isn't very good against fire. Holy shit, are we actually fighting War Chief Thrall? Lugta Ugar! Victory or death! Oh shit. I was expecting to fail miserably at that point. But not in such a way that, I mean, we got so close to the end as well, so I'm quite pleased. Now does this platform come down? So we gotta do the fucking thief part again. Fuck my ankle. So I was under the impression that once you'd done it for the first time, you wouldn't have to do it again. No such luck. Fun fact, the thieves had their own world in... yeah, that's where I run around them. Okay, that's fine, yeah. That means there's no more treasure in the environment. It all comes from Nasty at the end. I'm good. Anyway, as I was saying, the thieves have their own world in Enter the Dragonfly, and you would go there and help them out against the Riptox. Fuck you! Me, rather. Fuck you, me! I'm getting tense now. But yeah, I must admit, I thought it was quite clever that they had their own world and that we had to secure their treasure and stuff. But yeah, the Riptox were Ripto's answer to the Rhinox of Spyro 3. Ripto, of course, being the antagonist of Spyro 2. I mean, he returned quite a few times, surprisingly. Like, I don't remember that many people really sort of enjoying Spyro 2 enough to justify him returning as a villain all the time. But I think perhaps it was because he was just the more villainous of all the villains. You know, like Nasty Nork is he's not really a sorcerer as such. He's just like a barbarian. I mean, yeah, he's got a scepter or like a mace that shoots, you know, magic, and that's really about it. You had Ripto had a scepter and 2 henchmen as well, and then you had the sorceress, who really sort of created minions out of thin air, which was a good excuse to make minions.
You're toast, Nork.
And there we go, that's Spyro the Dragon.
Sorry I took so long. Almost forgot about you guys.
What about Ganasty Ganork?
Nasty Nork is toast. So now there's order again in the Dragon Kingdom?
Well, mostly. I've still got some treasure to find.
What will you do next?
I'd say the sky's the limit.
Very good, and I like the music there as well. They're not doing the outro like they used to, where they pan throughout the glide throughout the world. One of the audio designers is Matt Copeland. In a relation, I wonder? Or like any relation, I should say. The music is wonderful. And as much as I would like to sit through this and look at all the wonderful artwork, I may skip this part. Yes, I think I shall. I'm sure there's credentials videos out there. You can buy the game yourself, which I'd strongly recommend. I shall skip, and I shall call it a day. Although, let's listen to what this dragon has got to say. Although we've kind of already said it. I don't know if the ending changes if you've if you manage to get all the treasure beforehand. Still a level to go, even though we've completed the game. Got defeated the final boss anyway.
Nasty's ancient history now. So, what's in there?
I believe this is Nasty's treasure hoard. But the gate will only open if you have found everything in the Dragon Kingdom. Come back when you have reached 100%.
So we're still missing 6 treasure from Metalhead and from Alpine Ridge. I suppose I could take a bit more time to go back to those levels and have a look around. I don't want to spend too much time doing this though, because of the render time and uploading and whatnot, so we need to go to the Beastmakers first of all. So I hope you've enjoyed Spyro the Dragon. I know I have. We will do the bonus level once we get all the gems and all the skill points and all this kind of stuff. That I will be going for the skill points in the next episode, and then we'll do the bonus level, and then we will go on Spyro to Gateway to Glimmer, or Reignited Trilogy as they call it. I have to say this was massively better than I could ever have hoped. You know, and I'm not going to say it shows me for being a pessimist. I think if I was as hyped for this as many friends and fans were, I would not have enjoyed it as much. I think I would have been disappointed and nitpicking about a lot more. It's a shame I can't really be optimistic about games, because since 2014, in fact, one of the original one of the Spyro developers, Insomniac, had, raised my hopes for. I was with Sunset Overdrive, but even then that was just it was like, not a bad game, but just not one that was, as brilliant as I wanted it to be. And I think I had every right to expect a bit more when original gameplay had shown things to be a bit faster, and it wasn't as fast. There wasn't really that much oomph to the weapons. It was just very 2014, and that's why Shadow of Mordor was my game of the year for that year. It still is. I can't think of anything else I played and enjoyed as much as that. Crackdown 2 didn't interest me at all. Alien Isolation wasn't really my cup of tea because I spent too much time crawling around, and because the alien spawning seemed to be bugged. I don't know. It seemed to appear whenever I got out of crouching. Or maybe it's just because I'm a scaredy cat and don't really want to, you know, lose a game or anything. But I don't know. What else that came out? Thief didn't interest me. What else was there? Can't remember many other games that came out in 2014. Right, so apparently we need to check the foliage and the grass to see if there's any gems hiding in it. What I would really like, and I know I'm gonna, and now I know I'm gonna sound elitist, is the option to perhaps reduce the grass density. I mean, honestly, if I could get 60 FPS from doing things like that, I would love that option, you know. And you know, I'd toy around with it and say, yeah, maybe I do want the grass density higher, maybe I do want that higher frame rate. But yeah, it's just like I really do think it has sort of got in the way of the collectathon ability of the game. All right, I'm gonna just roam around a bit and just hope that Sparks picks something up. How much are we missing here? 1 gem. And for Christ's sakes, it's 1 gem. Where would it be? It could be anywhere. It's not like a chest or anything. It's not like 40 gems I'm missing, or, you know, 20. Because if it's... I mean, I know it's a red gem, so that helps narrow it down. So it's not like 2 gems. It could be 2 separately located red gems. It's 1 red gem. All I need is for it to glimmer. Now I am grateful that the camera is as good as it is, because it allows me to find it a lot easier. It also allows me to lose it a lot easier as well. The amount of times I've probably just gone past it because I'm too busy panning in and out and everywhere is probably beyond counting. Just scan the environment for it. The only thing I can think of is if it's not in the grass, it's one of Metalhead's minions that didn't spawn it or something. I don't know. And I don't want to say it's the bug. I don't want to say it's that bug, because I don't even know if it's been patched yet. I mean, if it has, good show. Christ, I wish I knew. It's not there, it's here. I know I picked, the last gems I started to pick up were around here. I walked past and and Sparks just grabbed it. I was like, what? Okay, fine. Yeah, I might need an epilepsy warning for all videos containing Metalhead footage. Oh, I wonder if I could get a perfect. Check the steps again. I know I did this before, but let's check again. No, I'm not going to be able to see the gem from here without destroying all these. You can get Metalhead to destroy these things, but I'll trust myself more. So he threw that large minion here, because it would have fell into the water, and the little orb fell there. Is the gem hiding in the grass here? I don't think the gems are actually on the battlefield themselves. Not over there. Try up here again. So it wasn't the bug, it was my old one. Okay. Alright, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take that one. I fucked up, okay? And again, apologies to Toys for Bob if I made any assumptions about the bug. You know. Or if I made any certain comments that it was a bug. But fuck me, that was frustrating. I mean, how many times did I go up there before? It's like, I know I went once to get the chest.
Where to, Spyro?
But... oh, sorry, I think I just pulled out my headphones again. Right. Stay here, where do we need to go next? Alpine Ridge.
Where to, Spyro?
Now, with this one, I'm thinking that it might be the fireworks crates. But until we scour the entire fucking level, I won't know unless I pick it up immediately. In fact, shit, I think I know where it is, actually. It might be right at the beginning. Just turn around and it might be there. There's not much grass here, but I know where there is one bit that it could be hiding. But it's not been that bad. I mean, yeah, it's been frustrating at times. It's, you know, had to get used to. You had to change a couple of old habits. Had to get used to a lot of new stuff. But it doesn't require, and I have to give this to the game, it doesn't require that much adjustment. Especially if you're a casual player. If you don't care about 100% completing the games like I do, like I cannot play Spyro without intending to complete it. It's a fatal flaw of my enjoyment of the games, as I don't get any satisfaction in just simply picking it up. I have to play to win, you know, and I have to complete it. It's my only talent, essentially. Oh Jesus, there's a lot more grass here than I remember. Go back and check. Was it here? Oh, it could be anywhere. My biggest problem with this game, if I had to choose a flaw, if I can choose positives and negatives, I think the game is detailed to a fault. When the artwork gets in the way of the gameplay, that's when I have a problem. It's like graphics over gameplay is real, you know, is can often be debated, you know, in games. But here, it takes it to a level that I really don't like. Like, this is something that even adventure games, you know, point-and-click adventure games are criticised for if they do it. If it's a pixel hunt, people will complain. I mean, some people like pixel hunts. And if you like them, fine. But would it have been a pixel hunt if Insomniac were to make Spyro today? You know, let's say that magically that would work, you know? I don't think so. By all means, hide gems in places that are hard to reach. You know, give them to enemies like here. and in Spyro, excuse me, in Spyro 3. Totally fine with that. But the grass is so annoying. And I think it may actually end up frustrating some of the sort of Spyro veterans, you know, but I don't know, maybe it's how my brain works. And, you know, again, for once, I have yet to discover things in a Spyro game. You know, it's like maybe I'm still being a sore loser over over this game that I can't stand not knowing everything. So maybe it is that. But besides that, I couldn't really think of a major flaw. It's like the controls, not a problem. I know some people complain about a lot of people complain about the gliding and supercharging controls. I'll agree, but I don't know if that's my biggest problem. And even then, it's like, you know, is me having trouble looking for things in the grass really a valid complaint? Is that my biggest complaint? Then again, if it is, that's saying a lot about how good the game is, you know? So I don't know. Wait, was it off that enemy? It was just off an enemy. But yeah, I can't really think of any major flaws so far. And if I were to speak of flaws, it would have to cover the entire trilogy. I think if I had any problems with this game, it would be in all three games. So yeah, maybe the supercharging controls will be bad. Maybe the gliding controls will be bad. Like, I've seen people complain about the skateboarding controls in Spyro 3. I can understand where that might be bad. I mean, I couldn't see it in the gameplay that I watched, but I could yet be wrong. You know, it's like seeing is very different to feeling. So maybe. And I tell you what, as well as a bonus, fuck it, let's complete the game, shall we? Trust me, I'm going to keep myself
Need a lift?
when it comes to uploading this. But sod it, we're having fun. Now, biggest positive. It's hard to choose between controls, artwork, animations, dragon designs. I'm in the money. This is the super secret level. This is what I didn't want to show in my top 10 levels. Nasty's loot. I didn't want to spoil it. Let's have a look, shall we? But yeah, it's hard to choose my favourite thing because there's so much good stuff. Now, if you like gems, this is the stage for you. Oh, that lava is beautiful. They clearly saved the best to last. So, you get a super flight here. And it's only limited though, so you can only, like, it sort of works in layers or levels. So currently I can't fly that high. That's because I need to find a certain someone. And then when I do, I will deal with their ass. Oh, that's perfect. The Gloop is back. So you can see flight is still limited. So now we need to use a key. We need to use the key we've just got to unlock another part of the stage. Pray tell, where was I? I know it was around here somewhere. Is it back here? Yes, it is. And now we can fly a little higher to find the next thief. Now, where might he be? We might be able to circle him easier doing this, I'm not sure. Pressing the circle, I might need to catch him. Ah, come on, I feel good close. Ah, shit. Go. And there's a fuck ton of treasure as well. In fact, I do believe we have to get all 12,000 treasure again in the zone to over 100% complete the game. Now, I do believe that this is actually depending on the amount of skill points, I think, or something like that. It only classes at 99%, but you can still come here, even if you've got all the dragons and all the gems. In fact, I think what you actually need is the 12,000 gems more than the 80 dragons. Oh shit. What? I just hit him. Right, there we go. It's another key earned. Make sure there's thing here. Actually, I think it's about 1,000 treasure we need to get. I wonder if I can. Yeah, I can light that rocket there. There's quite a few containers that we need to breach. What's going to take us through here? I must admit, the speed at which this is going, it does look rather ridiculous. Oh, come on! He gets a little speed boost! You cock tease. Right, there we go. And I think we've got the final key we need. Fly around a bit more. I really would like to pinpoint what my favourite thing about the Reignited Trilogy has been, but it's just so goddamn hard to choose a single thing. Everything about it has been astonishing, well and truly. It did what I didn't think it could have done. You know, the 10 Toys for Bobs, that 10 Insomniacs couldn't do, could do. And that was make me like a remaster of one of my 2 all-time favorite franchises. How do we need to fly it? Well, that was rather strange. I must admit, I don't know what to do now. Got 2,000 treasures to get, I should say. Let's try and continue on. Let's find out where everywhere leads. Exhaust all our options. Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe that the devs did as good as a job they did. And they went above and beyond. This has me hopeful for any other work that Toys for Bob does, but again, there is still that concern that, well, what if this isn't the only... what if this isn't the only... Imagination rhymes for devastation. Patience is for dragons. Knowledge is the power to turn dragons to crystal. Practice, it's not about being the best, it's about destroying everyone else. There was a nice picture of Nasty in the original there as well. But there's nothing standing between you and your goal but a little tiny purple dragon. Teamwork is for Norks who can't do it themselves. Wait a minute, that's a picture of Skelos Badlands. Okay. And I do believe that's yeah, that's us done. We have still got some skill points to do. And I will unlock those. I could leave them till the end of the trilogy, though, because I don't really want to do them in this part. But yeah, that's us. That's the game done. Short but very emotional ride, in my opinion.
Spyro the Dragon, you defeated Gnasty Gnorc, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom. How do you feel?
I feel fired up, Bob. And I'm happy for the dragon world, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my dragon days butting heads with Nasty Gnorc and his weird minions.
What's a minion?
Never mind. You know what they say. For every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Nasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a worthy opponent. Uh-oh. Here we go again.
Seem to be hinting at a sequel that didn't really happen with Nasty. I think his next appearance would be in A Hero's Tale as the first boss, and have a bit of sort of semi fourth wall breaking humor. But yeah, so that's it for a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy, the first game anyway. In the next part, we ought to be... I think I shall actually go on to Spyro 2 and do all the stuff there. But hopefully by which point, all of these parts will be uploaded, and then I can resume recording. But the first chance I get, I will be recording. So, but I do hope that I can get the videos up fast enough to read your comments, and then when we next record, I'll be able to answer them in the video. So yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure. I hope to see you again in a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Ta-ta for now.